Californians. We're here with Gaurd Force International. This is Mr. Gordon L. Brooks. He is the owner and founder of Gaurd Force International, and he's also a former ex-military and ex-police. Today we're going to briefly touch bases with him. We met him here in a diner called Johnny D's, having some breakfast, and I was sharing my thoughts with him about the up-and-coming election and some of the stipulations that are going on here in California, one being the excessive use of force. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and give him my ideas and his views and see what he thinks about that. Gordon, thanks, brother.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here with you and seeing you once again.
God bless. God bless. You know, 2018 is going to be a critical year this year for the governorship for California. There's many problems going on, but the biggest thing is excessive use of force with the police department. And I just kind of wanted to get your idea behind that. The reason why I'm talking Gordon also is he transports some of America's worst, most notorious fugitives. And that's a job that in itself, you damn near have to be a psychologist, you have to be an activist, you have to be a strong person, and you have to have some wherewithal about it, because these people are, one, they're already in custody, and they're almost more dangerous than being out on the run because they know the situation, they know the environment, they're reading every single thing that he's doing, and one wrong move on his part and his partner's part could end up being fatal. So this is a great opportunity for America, you to hear and see what it is that they go through and get their ideas about. What I'm thinking is that we have the wrong criteria for hiring police officers. I believe that the age at this time now is just too young. I think a young man at 20 and a half has not experienced enough life. And I understand in the 40s why the age requirement was set, because the average life expectancy was a lot lower. And now, the average man is living into his 70s. So I think that we need to hire on the police officers with a little bit more life experience and a little bit more age behind them. For instance, I think we talked about one of the biggest complaints I heard about, especially domestic violence claims, that police officers are showing up to a domestic violence call, and the problem is they've never even been in a relationship. So
they're 18, 19, 20 years old coming straight out of the womb. So they don't have the life experience of dealing with certain situations or recognize how to diffuse a situation.
Like I said, there's a lot to that. And that's not something you can learn in the academy, really. I mean, you can study the psychology of it, but you can't study feet on the ground life experiences. That's a real big thing, and I think that should be addressed and looked at in the hiring process, not only for LAPD but for all departments.
Yeah, especially in California.
Yeah, especially with the crime rate and the excessive use of force rate is the highest in the nation. Hands down, we know
California
that.
sets the trend.
True, and I think by us, looking to the police department. And don't get me wrong, our academies, I believe, hands down, are the best in the world. You cannot get the training anywhere else as far as knowledge, weapons use, penal code usage. I mean, it's hands down the best academies. I think we need to revisit the hiring age for a police officer, especially now that things have changed. And also, the criteria, the background. They're trying to hire these kids that, what we call it, let's just be real, I call it being breastfed.
True.
These kids have never even left home yet. They got like a year of junior college. They never even had a speeding ticket, and they want to be police officers. I understand the theory behind that. I understand about having good ethics and a good record. But in California, with the situations that are happening right now, you need some people with life experience. And one of the big things is, this stipulation of needing waivers. I understand the waivers, and I'm not saying to hire someone that's been in an altercation, gun-related, or a murder attempted like that, but someone that's had a traffic accident, someone that's maybe had speeding tickets,
correct.
Misdemeanor, public nuisance and stuff like that, disorderly conduct, something like that. That's all part of growing up. That's experience of growing up. I think if we revisit that hiring phase, that we can get a better quality officer, with a little bit of life experiences. Just leading in this day and age, times have changed and society has changed, and we need people with life experiences so this excessive use of force situation can come to a halt, because it's out of control.
Yes, completely. It is. Especially in the state of California, for all the recent shootings and everything else, dealing with In the academy, they teach you the letter of the law. By having life experiences, you learn the spirit of the law, which you're able to deal with and handle certain situations and be able to de-escalate the situation before it gets out of control. Rather than immediately reaching for your gun, you can understand, hey, this is a 16, 17-year-old kid soaking wet of 125 pounds. He's not a threat to me. So using the fear for my life as an excuse to automatically pull a gun is not going to work going forward. And with your leadership and your vision that you have going forward will help change the criminal justice system in our society.
So that is the key, and the key, Gordon just said it right now. These are the two stipulations. One is the letter of the law, and that's the academic part of it, correct?
Right.
The other is the spirit of the law, and the spirit of the law comes from life experience, right?
Correct. You can understand, for example, you pull someone over for speeding. Well, I'm on my way to my first job interview. They call me back. I'm going to submit the application. They finally got me, and I was running a little late, getting prepared. Well, I can understand that. Okay, you need to slow down your speed. Good luck on your interview. You never know where is that going to take that next person. Now, if she would have missed it, you would have gave her a ticket and held her up. You know, she may not have made it and had that opportunity to succeed to the next level. You need to take in certain situations in life, and that comes in the spirit of the law. Not necessarily the letter of the law saying if you go over 25 miles an hour, you're doing 27, you're going to get a ticket. You're at 30 miles an hour, you assess the situation, understand who you're dealing with, then you can make a reasonable, collective decision what you're going to do going forward.
So we can agree to disagree, to agree that the spirit of the law is really, truly, what's really missing in law enforcement this day.
Yes.
You know, and that comes from maturity and life experience. I think is a huge stepping stone towards that. Okay, well, you heard it live and direct from Apple Valley, California, with Mr. Gordon Brooks, former police officer, ex-Air Force vet, and owner of Gaurd Force International. Once again, to the people, with the people, for the people. You better ask somebody.